Hooray! Here we are. Welcome, everyone. Namaste. What a beautiful day. What an incredible day. We are all just so grateful to be alive, to be here, to be creators, to be awakening in this epic time on the planet. So allow yourself to feel good right now, regardless of what's happening in your life, you're the creator. And when you choose to decide that you're happy right now, and it's not based on your circumstances or your bank account or somebody else's opinions or someone who cut you off in traffic or anything in the past. You just take back your power to be here now in this moment and declare, I love being me. I love my life. I love this moment. I'm so excited for everything that's coming my way. I'm so grateful that I am here now. So welcome, welcome. Akasha here from nanakasha.com. Please join our list over there. We have so many wonderful things happening. We want to keep you up to date, want to give you lots of goodies. We have right now on the website the Communicate with Your Past Lives, which is from our shop that you can get free if you come over and opt in. And we have some epic, epic things happening. As you know, I'm very, very, very big fan of getting together in person. There's nothing more transformational. And if you feel even remotely called to one of my retreats coming up in Canada on the lake, what an incredible cocoon this is becoming. We've got Scotland coming up in September. We just finished a video and we are about to launch that full website for you tomorrow. And we only have 9 spots and already one is claimed. So there is opportunities that are going to come up all throughout the year for different ways to interact with me, with the community, to do our classes. We're going to have our Intuition Awakening class this year and online, and it is going to be all about channeling and entering your Akashic records. So what I really want for you is to empower you to understand the laws of the universe, to understand what you're doing that is sabotaging yourself, that's creating more of what you don't want, because everybody's doing it. I was doing it most of my life too. We're conditioned into certain realities and beliefs that aren't true. Everything's an illusion. Everything's a hologram, and you're at the center of it. You live on a planet of mirrors. There is nowhere you can look that isn't a reflection of you. What does that mean? Oh, there's this big drama happen over here. It's all my fault. That's not what it means. It means that you have decided within you throughout many lifetimes, throughout your different experiences in this lifetime, based on your ancestral programming in your DNA, and based on what you have decided things mean. Then your subconscious uses that like a computer program, and it plays that program, attracting more situations. So if you believe in victims and you see other people as victims and you feel like you're a victim, or you feel condemned, you feel separate. Oh, everyone gets what they want, but I don't get what I want. If you have been struggling with money, I've had ups and downs my whole life with money. I've made millions of dollars. I've lost it all and had bankruptcies. I've had literally less than enough money in my bank account for years, trying to figure out how to pay my rent or figure out where to live. And none of it is bad in and of itself. It may be what you don't prefer. However, you're the one that gets to choose what you think, what you feel, what you believe, and what you turn it into. So if you're given lemonades, are you given lemons? Are you making lemonade? Yum, yum. Or are you sitting around saying, look at all these crappy lemons. Why don't I get what I want? We have been taught and conditioned by society, by families over time. A lot of people don't know this, so we don't blame anyone. Don't blame anyone. Don't blame anyone, because then you're going to attract blame. If you judge yourself, if you judge others, if you envy other people, if you judge, oh, you shouldn't have money because you're a bad person, and this person should have money and you need to do this with your money, or you need to be this way or that way. Get out of everyone else's story and get into your own, okay? Get into this inner world that you're creating. You came here with unbelievably infinite potential. It's all inside of you. You are the divine. I'm not making this up. It's not feel good. This is truth. This is law. This is sacred. This has been proven by science. This has been around for thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of years. It is the basis of the universe. You have the power of alchemy. You can turn any piece of shit into a shiny, wonderful gem. You can turn any fear, any trauma, any drama, any issue that you have had or you are currently in into something spectacular. It starts within you. If you are walking around, and I know that we've been trained this way, but what I'm doing is telling you that you've got to start to take back your mind, take back your power, take back your emotions, take back your words, take back your thoughts. Stop giving your power to anyone and anything. The stories, the opinions outside of you, whether it's the news, whether it's Facebook, whether it's your family, whether it's the people in the store, whether it's the people you work with, everybody's got an opinion. Most people are walking unconscious. They're in a trance. They do not understand who they are. They're willing to fight for their limitations. They believe in all this bad stuff, and they're creating more of it. I'm over here walking in the light. I'm walking in radiance and light and happiness and bliss. And I'm constantly affirming that no matter what I see, whatever I happen, it is for the highest good of me, of that person, of everyone. I bless myself, and therefore I bless you. I bless all my clients, my business, my family, my house, my cats, my body, everything, every single day, at least before I go to sleep. And then I ask for that to be multiplied for everyone and sent out into the world and down into the past to all ancestors and into the future towards all the lives that we have potential to live, to all the planets throughout time and space. There's no limit. There is no such thing as time. And it's not important to get involved in all of those things. If you want to learn more about that, come work with me in some of my mystery school classes or personally or privately. I am doing things all the time to create a new and more empowering way for you to take the sacred laws of the universe that are infallible, that if you don't know how to use them, you will never, ever manifest what you want and sustain it or enjoy it. So the way that we've been taught, even the big gurus who wrote big fancy books, they're missing information. They're not telling you the whole thing. A lot of them didn't actually know if what they're teaching is real or true or works because they made their money off selling you the book. Now, that doesn't mean that you read a book that didn't help you, because there's many books that help me a lot. I like to hear people's true stories so I know what they did to get out of their trauma, to get out of being betrayed, to get out of feeling like they're rejected or not good enough, because this is the game I played most of my life. I understood that I believed, I agreed to the story that there's not enough going, in the world, and that you have to act a certain way and you have to do certain things, be realistic, get a job, stop being fantasy, don't dream, don't use your imagination. Well, right there, you might as well just cut off your legs, cut off your head, and cut off your hands, and then sit around and try to live a happy life. Because if you don't dream, if you don't find out what you are here to create, if you don't believe that that is inside of you and it's fully funded, it already has everything it needs. There's no trauma, there's no person, there's no situation, there's no economic whatever. Do you realize that when people go, oh, the economy's bad, don't go anywhere, stay home, don't spend any money? Well, they're literally telling you, don't take advantage of the mega opportunity right now. Because every person who makes a lot of money, they do so when things are not good, when things are volatile, when things are changing, when they see an opportunity. I'm going to create a new way for people to be able to what? Communicate by our cell phones, do, make art, with AI, whatever it is. Okay. So if you walk around saying, this is bad, AI is bad, and that's bad, and people are bad, and this is bad, and I'm bad, and this is bad, and money's bad, you're going to have a world of bad, and you're going to create more of it. You're going to attract more of it. It's just the facts. Okay. If you want to know more, come on over to the shop, join us. We are extending. We've had people asking. Hi, MD. Hi, everybody. We have people that have been asking about joining the Create Your Reality class. So we're letting people continue to join right now. It is truly the basics, and yet it is the most advanced foundation for you understanding how you create your life, from money to health to relationships to ideas to happiness. Okay. All of it. We're here to thrive. The intention, the agreement we made with the universe was we're coming here and we're going to be creators, and we're going to go through all the different ups and downs that this physical reality offers. And we're going to create a world of a unique vision that you carry within you. You and you alone have a unique vision within you. You also have the means to manifest it. However, you can't sit around and think positive things and sit on your couch and hide from the people who've hurt you and be afraid to travel and be afraid to go anywhere that you might get sick, or somebody might upset you, or you might get tired, or whatever your things that you're letting stop you. Okay. Those are what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about trauma. We're going to talk about betrayal. We're going to talk about these really big things that we have now acknowledged, which I'm very happy about. And yet it's overtaken people, because now we have labels and we have pills and we have all these opinions of everybody that, well, you're weak and pathetic because you're an empath and you can't do anything and you can't be around anybody. You're a divine being. You're brighter than the sun. You have more power than every single thing outside of you. Why on earth would you want to choose being so weak you can't go anywhere? It's not that you haven't felt it. Believe me, I still go places. I'm not going in there. We're leaving. I'm choose this place. However, I also am amping up my ability to say, I'm the creator of my reality. Inside of me is the power of infinite number of suns. I have all of the wealth, the riches, the intelligence, the support of the divine that's infinite inside of me, and so do you. It is not outside of you. There is no God or goddess or angel outside of you. There's no higher self that's waiting to give you the signal. If you're waiting, stop waiting. Declare now. I'm not waiting anymore. I'm ready to live my life now. I'm not going to let this stop me anymore. I'm going to take it and I'm going to find the power inside of it. I'm going to find the gems inside of it. It's time right now. That's why we all came here right now, is that things are moving fast. Things are falling apart. This is a metamorphosis on a global level, and we will never again have access to these levels of energy. So if you're saying, well, I really would like to go on the Canada retreat, or I would like to go do this thing, but maybe not right now, maybe I'll wait, I got too many appointments, or whatever your story is, it's not going to ever happen again. Not the way it is right now. And it could quantum leap you. In fact, I know it would. If you truly called with your heart to whatever, then, and make sure it's not your ego, make sure it's not desperation, make sure it is your heart speaking to you, then think about it, choose it, decide it, dream it, put a vision in your head, make a declaration, go to sleep with it on your lips and say, I don't know how, but I am ready right now for this to be in my life, because otherwise it wouldn't be here. It wouldn't have come to you. It wouldn't have been a part of your reality. You wouldn't have found out about it. Okay. So what we're going to talk about today is transmutation or transfiguration. It's transformation, but at a cellular level, at a genetic level, at a DNA level, at the inner part of your mind, one mind, which also connects to your brain, where you have habits and neural pathways that say, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I can't make money. Oh, it takes this much work, or these skills, or this education. I didn't have a family that supported me, whatever. Okay. Your story is creating, and most of your stories are in your subconscious. That means they're buried deep and they're hidden, or they're invisible. I used to do talks when I lived in Austin for different business groups about the invisible, uh, I forget what I called it now, the invisible subconscious beliefs, the things that you've vowed to, the things you've agreed to, the things that you've declared, the things that you've decided, the things that you've put your confidence in. They become an energetic program, just like one you download on your computer. And if you get a virus in your computer, it starts doing wacky things. It doesn't do things you want it to do. This is kind of what's happening for us. If you have a trauma, and I had a daughter die. I lost all my money, 80 properties in $1 million home during my divorce. I got disowned from my mother. I've had businesses that made $1 million and then lost everything. And then I was literally just had debt because I put all my money back into the business, and I lived off of credit cards. Okay. I've had all these different experiences. And at the time, were they traumatic? Yes. Did I think I was the worst person in the world that would never recover? What was I going to do? I didn't know who I was. I didn't know where to go. Yes. Okay. However, those are gifts. When your life falls apart, it's called metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is when your old identity and your old perception of your abilities dissolve into formlessness. Okay, so really take it literally. The caterpillar knows how to crawl. It knows how to eat leaves. It can go upside down. It can do whatever a caterpillar does. It's got a lot of little cute legs. Then it says, wow, and it puts itself inside a cocoon. This is wired inside of it. It is part of its divine nature. It knows to do that. It doesn't have to go get someone's opinion. It doesn't wait until the economy is right. It doesn't wait until it feels perfect. It doesn't wait until its husband or mother or sister or children agree that you should do this or you can do this. Other people aren't going to agree with you 99% of the time. It's like asking a lawyer to say, is this a safe investment? No, that's what they're paid to say. No. So you don't come back and sue them. So grow up, get your spiritual maturity. Say, you know what? I'm not waiting for everybody else to decide and for this to happen and that to happen, because right now I carry inside of me the infinite plan, all the resources, all the energy, all the creativity, all the ways of attracting the income or the support or the people or the knowledge or the education for something. And my heart is calling for that. If you stay in your mundane life, it's not going to change. If you get out of it, even for an hour, and you interrupt that pattern. If you come here with me, I'm inside of an infinity healing chamber. You're coming into this. Your vibration is slowly raising. All of the energies that I've learned over almost 40 years in this lifetime of working with sacred geometry, with realms. I'm an epic channel. I can clearly see energy on almost every level. I can clear you. I can unhook you. I'm a light body healer. I'm a shaman. All of these different things were part of my path. When I would have a trauma and shit would fall apart, I would be in pain. I would be in fear. I would be in anxiety. I would go deeper into my lack of self-confidence, which I had most of my life. I could barely speak up. I could barely ask where the toilet was. Okay. So there's so much that's possible, and it doesn't take anyone else's permission. It takes your permission. It takes your decision. And then success, happiness, wealth, fun, whatever it is you wish for will happen. But you have to be the one to decide. You can't walk around saying, oh, I'm so traumatized. Oh, I'm so weak. Oh, I'm afraid that I'm going to be sick. I'm afraid that I'm going to waste my money. I'm afraid I can't trust people. I'm afraid whatever. Okay. And I'm just giving you some ideas because you probably can relate to these things. Every one of us knows. Every one of us has had at least one, if not 1,000 different experiences at this point in our life where we were hurt, we were betrayed, we were shocked, things didn't work out the way we wanted. We had failure where we had put our effort and our belief and our faith into something. And then we feel, disappointed, and we feel frustrated, and we feel condemned. And then we blame ourselves and we blame the economy. All of these habits are what are not allowing you to create a life that you wish for. There is no trauma and I am not belittling anyone's trauma. I've met people who've had some pretty epically horrible stuff in their lives. And I see them as beautiful, strong, powerful spiritual beings who came here to end a pattern, to learn to never again be a victim and believe in victims and make anyone else a victim, whether it's an animal, whether it's the water of the ocean, whether it is women or children, whether it is whatever. There are no victims. Stop making anyone a victim, including yourself. That's number one. You have to decide if you are used to, because it's our conditioning, if you're used to labeling yourself. I have this problem. I have this disease. I'm wounded with this. I'm a survivor of that. I'm very happy if you've survived cancer. I'm very happy if you've survived horrible abuse or torture. Are you doing anything with it? Or are you walking around being a survivor, being a wounded person, being somebody who doesn't have the strength, and then designing your life to avoid most of the experiences? What if you woke up one day and somebody said, I would like to pay to take you around the world on a first-class luxury vacation to all the places that you would love, exactly the way you love. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to even make decisions. You just have to tell me, I would love to go to Thailand and see the big Buddhas. I would love to go to Paris and see the Eiffel Tower. I would like to go to London and go to all of the epic museums. I would like to climb the mountains in the Rocky Mountains. I would like to see the waterfalls in Hawaii. I would love to go to the Maya land and climb the pyramids with Nan. I would love to go to Brazil and see these incredible places that are beautiful and full of crystals and amethyst. I'm like, who are you? Amethyst. Okay. Don't tell me for 1 minute that you don't have any desires inside of you, because if you truly say that, you have suppressed them. You have been convinced you can't. You don't have the resources, whether it's money, time, or strength. You are in a holding pattern. You're in a prison cell. One of the very first books that I read on my path, there was no internet. There was nothing around. I did live in LA, so I was lucky. The Bodhi Tree, which was an incredible bookstore, did exist. And I read a book by Ram Dass. Anybody knows him? He's quite famous. And it was a very early book by him. I didn't have a clue what in the world he was talking about. But I remember distinctly, and now I laugh and say, yep, pretty much true. You are in a room. You don't know you're in a room. The door is wide open and you could leave the room, but you don't, because you don't know you're in a room. Now, at the time, I was like, what on earth does that mean? Because I had no spiritual upbringing. I had no esoteric knowledge. I had no grasp of abstract concepts that weren't based in absolute practicality of pay your bills and be a good person and don't get in trouble and don't embarrass us. That's how I was raised, right? So what does that mean? It means that the room you're in right now is your creation. You are projecting that reality mostly based on things you're not aware you're projecting, because they're in your subconscious, from your ancestors, from your traumas, things you decided, vows that you made, agreements that you made with yourself. I'm never going to speak up again. I'm never going on a trip again. I'm never going to trust people again. I'm never going to spend money. I'm never going to use a credit card again, whatever it is. Okay. When you say that, the universe is listening. Your subconscious is listening all the time, 24/7. You're creating. You've created everything you have. You can uncreate it. You can transmute it. You can transform it. So this is our cocoon. This is the moment when our inner caterpillar, our imaginal cell, it's called, triggers our soul seed cell. And it says, time for transformation. Transfiguration means you change your actual body, your image of who you are, what you believe is possible, what you want, what you're willing to know you want, what you're willing to decree, what you're willing to allow to change Your power is in this exact eternal now moment. So is the past. So is the present. So is the future. If we don't accept that right now, right here, I have the power and I make a choice now, and we keep waiting, well, I'll wait till this is better and I'll wait till that happens. And sometimes that's valid, but not really very often. Okay. People manifest money to do stuff that have never had a dime, and they come to my retreats. So it's not true. I've seen it, not just for me. I've seen other people. Once you hear that heart calling, once you make a decision within you, I'm going to be there. I don't have a clue how. I'm healing from this trauma. I'm never letting this affect me anymore. I'm tired of feeling like I was betrayed and I don't trust people and I can't trust myself. And what if I'm betrayed and I'm not going to go anywhere and I'm not going to take any courses and I'm not going to whatever. Okay. We are no longer allowed by spiritual conscious shifts to stay small, to stay stuck in these identities of being in a little tiny room that you've defined as I'm weak, I'm an empath, I'm poor, I don't have the money, I don't have the skills, I don't have a job, I don't have this. Who cares what you have? The universe is infinite. It can find a million ways to make what you want happen. But if you're not deciding it, and if you're not choosing it, and instead you're reporting all the bad things in your life, you're being a reporter, which is therefore then telling yourself and telling your subconscious, which is telling the universe, she wants to have more victimhood. She wants to have more betrayal. She wants to hide. She wants to be afraid. She wants to not face this thing that happened to her. She doesn't want the gems, the wisdom, the pearls of wisdom that are inside of that. She doesn't want to gain the strength. Medicine women, medicine men, chieftains, leaders of all kinds, masters, high priests, high priestesses, whatever label you want to give it, in whatever culture, at whatever time, they didn't become that master by sitting and waiting, by waiting for everyone else to agree. They were creators. They expanded their minds. They explored the infinite. They went into the other realms. They understood everything as frequency and vibration. And they absolutely refused to live the normal mundane life they were handed. We live in the matrix. It's pretty friggin' literal. So if you keep saying, well, but look, that thing's bad, and look over there, and every time I try this, this happens, it's only because you believe it. And you may not understand why you believe it. And it may feel frustrating, but that's what I'm going to show you how to unhook today. How to take your trauma, take your past, take your perceived failures. We used to say in my mastermind, what is your perceived challenge? What's your perceived problem? What's your perceived block right now? I say perceived because it's not a problem and it's not a block. It's an invitation. It's an invitation to find that door that Ram Dass says is wide open, because you don't perceive that door right now. And you probably don't even perceive the walls to your prison right now, but they're in your mind. They're based on your decisions. Now they're in your cells, they're in your blood, they're in your bones, they're in your chakras, they're in all the levels of your being, your emotional field, your auric field. You have an enormous light body. It has many, many, many aspects to it, many elements to it. And you don't even need to go through mystery school and understand all of that in order to take back the power to say, I am not living as a victim of circumstance, of what happened in the past. It's over. It's done. Even if it's happening right now, you can reframe whatever is happening right now. And it's not just be happy, think positive, and then things will happen. That's like the barely even the tiny tip of the iceberg that's floating above the surface. You've got to understand the true laws of the universe. And if you really want to, come join the class, okay? The Create Your Reality Through the Power of Your Words. Stop speaking lack. Stop speaking sabotage. Stop creating what you don't want. We're going through very practical exercises, processes, and understanding. We're feeding your logical mind, and I'm giving you the other things to do this, to break the patterns and the habits. You have to interrupt the pattern. There's no way, if you don't substitute what's normal to you with what you want, you're never going to get something different, okay? Those are the truths of where we are. So when Ram Dass says, you're in a room You don't know you're in a room. The door's wide open, so you could leave that room. You could go to a different reality. You could go to a different mindset. You could go to, I'm freedom and I'm fabulous and I have everything within me and I have no clue how it's going to happen, but I know it's going to happen and I'm ready and expectant and waiting for beautiful, harmonious things to show up every day. That's what I declare nonstop every day. When I sleep, when I wake up, I am filling myself full of these chosen declarations and words, because words are like nuclear power. They're more powerful than an atomic bomb. Your thoughts are the same thing as a spoken word, but your spoken word has more power than your thought. And your feelings, of course, are what usually dictate to people. Oh, I feel afraid. Oh, I feel I trust. Oh, I'm saying these positive affirmations, but I'm feeling afraid I'm not really good enough. It'll never work for me. It never has worked for me. This is how I lived. And I wondered, why am I getting such inconsistent results? Why am I so committed to this change? And I'm saying the affirmations. You can't just say the affirmations. The law of attraction doesn't work for people. It does, because you have whatever you've been speaking and believing. You've attracted it. It's in your life. Nobody else created your life right now. Just accept it, because then you know where you are, and then you can go into forgiveness and harmony and transcend effortlessly and be surrounded in compassion. And from that place, you can create beautiful things. You are here to create a world of beauty and love. And when you are afraid and you're desperate, you get into a self-centered mode that is not a true self-centered mode. You are the center of your reality. You are the creator of your reality. No one else is in your mind. No one else is inside of you. No one else has created your life. No one else can create your life. You're the only one that can. So you need to be focused on yourself, nurturing yourself, finding where you're not supporting yourself, where you're not speaking sweetness into your body and into your bones and into your life and into your bank account and into your relationships, okay? But you also, and I figured this out, so I'm not blaming anybody. This is from personal experience, as well as all the clients that I've worked with, over thousands of people I've worked with around the world for decades now. When we feel like a victim, when we feel traumatized, when we feel betrayed, when we feel weak because of these things, it's natural. I don't think I can do that again. I don't want to go through that experience. It's too tender. It's too raw, right? After my daughter died, I just thought, if one more thing happens, that's it. I can't stay here. I can't live. I'm just leaving. I'm leaving the planet, whatever I need to do. And I would receive messages when I was standing there thinking, hey, I could just walk out that door and jump off that freeway bridge, just kill myself pretty quick. Then a book would jump off the shelf, or somebody would say something. And you're never given anything you can't handle. You're never walking alone. These can seem like cliches, but they're little phrases that hold great truths. And if we can say, really? I can handle this? I can handle this? Okay. What would it be like if I started to believe I was strong enough, that the money is there to support me and I don't need to figure out how? I just am feeling myself in the end result. I'm willing to receive it, that I don't have to wait for people to agree with me and support me. I can trust my heart, that I don't have to think that every person is untrustworthy. I went through that and I hid, and I created a lot of struggle and lack, but it felt safer to me to hide myself away and only have so much success than, because the trauma of the people I believed in, and I worked my way up in the coaching industry, and I was speaking at the big stages, and I was becoming so-called friends with the people at the top. I used to be the coach and the hypnotherapist for people in the secret. I've been there. And I was so traumatized and so disillusioned and so betrayed by people who were fakes, people who were desperate, people who were doing it all from ego, people who were literally lying on stage and in their promotions, people who were telling their students to lie and get on stage and say, oh, I made a whole bunch of money. And then I'm sitting next to the accountant who's looked at me and says, no, they're about to go bankrupt. They got like $10 in their account, but they're up there saying, I made $10,000 last month and my coach is great. You should hire her for $80 million. Okay. I saw behind the curtain. So, and it wasn't a cute little man from Kansas like the Wizard of Oz. It was greed, fear, anxiety, manipulation, and all kinds of other dark shadows. So I was traumatized. I walked away from a large income, from a high level of potential success. And it was shocking the way that people betrayed me. They didn't want anyone to know what I knew about them. So they attack. So they blame. So they make up stories about you. Okay. My divorce was pretty epic and traumatic, but not because of my ex-husband. He's a very nice man. We never cheated on each other. We never had betrayals. I don't have that from there. I only have the trauma from the lawyers who came in and saw, you have all these properties and he's upset and doesn't want to break. We're going to go in and just create all this drama and suck all your money out of you. Okay. I've been betrayed, belittled, disowned, traumatized by working and pouring my heart into something, pouring my money and time into something, and then having it have a little success and then fail or fall apart. So I understand what happens. And what happens is the first thing we do is blame ourselves. We go in and say, oh God, clearly I'm no good. I failed again. Oh my gosh, is this ever going to work? How come I never get to have what I want? What am I doing wrong? What didn't I do? Oh, you should spend more money. You have to pay to play. If you don't pay more money, then you're not going to get the success you want. Okay. Then I start paying somebody $6,500 a month who spent less than 30 minutes with me and would hang up the phone rudely and insult me. What the? Are you kidding me? I put up with that for a while. And then I said, okay, I'm done. I'm done. You clearly manipulated me with your fancy words and your big, powerful ego that made me convinced that, okay, I've done everything else. This must be what I'm missing. So right now, the first thing I want to tell you is be discerning who you pay, who you listen to, what you follow. That includes people out there trying to sell you stuff, because everybody's trying to sell you something right now. I'm the best thing, and then I'm the best thing, and I'm the best thing. Your heart will help you discern who is authentic, who has real information, and who is speaking your language that will help you. I'm not the right coach for people who don't want to talk about mystical, magical things and get upset because I say that there's, energy and rainbows and the trees are conscious beings. If that upsets you, that you're not in my tribe. But there's somebody else who's speaking. Maybe go talk to Joe Dispenza. He's got great stuff. He just talks more logically, more scientifically. So there are good people, but just realize that no one else has the answer for you. You have to decide to trust yourself again. And maybe you put your money and time and your faith into people in love, in family, in business, with money, and it didn't work out. And people behaved inappropriately or in a way that wasn't optimal. And yes, I went through a lot of different things. And right before I left the US, everything fell apart. And what happened was I had built up a part of my business that I thought, wow, we finally found it. We finally nailed it. Oh my gosh, we were getting people coming and signing up, and we were just like, it was epic. And I put together people who were going to keep feeding me clients. We were doing, sharing things. And it was, I thought, oh, I'm such a good, responsible business person, and I'm going to go travel the world and work from anywhere because of the internet. And I'm going to be prospering, and I'm being responsible, and I'm doing great. And I had been introduced about 6 months before through people I knew, to somebody, and he had the same vision we had. So we married our this aspect of our businesses together. Luckily, I'm smart. I didn't give him a part of my business, but I was like, yes, let's start this business together. And 4 or 5 months later, I started realizing there's something wrong here. And then people started to pop up. All these people who knew me, watched me run out there and make these huge declarations and get on stages and throw my money and time into building this business and making promises. And I kept telling him, you can deliver this, right? You can deliver this. I'm saying this. I'm the one on stage. You can deliver. Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He was a con man. Not only such an epic con man, but the Canadian government was suing him and was after him for all kinds of fraud. And all these people that I knew in the industry knew it and watched me and didn't say anything. One of my best friends told me about 3 weeks after I started doing my first things with this person, we went for a walk on the beach. I lived in San Diego. And she said, there's something I don't know whether I should tell you or not, but you're so inspired and you're so on fire and you're so happy and you really found your place. And I kind of don't want to interrupt your momentum. And I just went, okay, whatever, you decide. What I had no clue what she was talking about. So you can imagine the level of betrayal that I felt, that I watched that I did all this stuff, put my faith in it, put my money in it, put my time in it, only to find this out. And I started suspecting. I asked somebody, they said, well, yeah. And then a person that I only knew a little bit, who was very, very successful, came to us, sat us down and said, you've got to listen to me. Get away from him. I have this experience. He's done this and this and this and this. This is nothing but a facade. He'll suck all your money. He'll convince you of all these things. Stop right now. No matter what you think might be possible, I want to make sure you do not get involved any further. And I'm doing this as a favor. Well, you can imagine, if you don't trust people, can I trust her? Should I trust him? And she came back again and she said, listen, you're not listening to me. You need to do this. The minute I backed away, I would go to events and have people around me at a big, long luncheon table reach across and say, oh, well, I didn't want to say anything, but I knew. And I'm glad to see that you're not going to be doing that anymore. I mean, the level of trauma, betrayal, and distrust you can imagine. Okay. So all of these experiences, I'm just giving you a few little tidbits so you understand I'm coming from the experience of betrayal and trauma in many, many ways. My mother disowned me in a huge, dramatic way in front of people and my children, screaming at me, trying to hit me. So trauma, we all have it, and it depends on what we decide it means, how we process it, and what we use it for. It may take time, it may not. It's up to you. But right now, we're not in the ages when I first read my Ram Dass book, when it took a long time because the consciousness was very dense. It took us a long time to even understand a concept back then. We're going and moving. We're in the year of the fire. We had the dragon. We had the snake. We're shedding our identity. We're being raised in consciousness every second of every day. We're being given access to truths, to wisdom, to our past life and powers, to our ability to think at a higher level, to expand our imagination like Einstein, to create and reach for new truths, to imagine like Walt Disney. We can create anything unless we decide that our trauma and our experiences define who we are, limit who we are, and have drained us of our innocence, our power, our abilities, and our money. I left the United States because I had already decided to leave, and I had put my stuff in storage, and I did some things, and we got on a plane. Chris had been attacked by a black sorcerer, let's say it that way. Literally, I kid you not. He had sores all over his feet, something out of a fairy tale. We knew what it was. One of my clients, who's extremely psychic, I've told you about her before, she knew what was happening. We were all together at a certain place, and she said, don't go near that woman. She is evil. She's using sacred powers for evil means, for manipulative means. That's her choice. You don't need to get involved in it. But she projected it to me. And because I know how to protect my energy field, it went on to Chris, to the point where he was suffering with these pustulating things that you don't even see generally now. And he had to get a wheelchair to get even on the plane. We arrived in Mexico, in the Yucatan. We were only going to stay for 2 months. And it's 11 years later, and I live here, and I love it. And I found my path and the Maya and my purpose and my joy, and I own a house on the beach. How that happened is just unbelievable. But it didn't happen because I kept believing I was condemned, and these people took my life and stole my dreams and have weakened me, and I can't recover from it. And I kept giving them my power. Did it take me time to get over it? Yes. Did I have to dig deep inside of me to find the strength, to find the truth, to say, no one is stealing my dreams. No one is ruining my life. I refuse to let this happen. And whatever belief inside of me that is creating this, that attracted this. So first of all, I attracted that situation with the con man, with the people I believed in, with all these stars that were, famous and still are, and make money off of not knowing anything and lying and everything else. Okay. I had to decide to be traumatized by it, to hide from it, to crawl in a hole. And I did. I crawled in an emotional hole. I crawled in an energetic hole, and I lost all my money, and I had to live off of $14 a day for a while. Thank God I was in Mexico, because I could do that outside of rent. I've been there several times. I went through a bankruptcy and a 3.5-year divorce. I had less than nothing. I had no money. I had negative money in my bank account, month after month after month after month, trying to figure out how to pay my rent, how to feed my children, on and on and on. And every time I've learned something powerful. I've gone inside of me and reclaimed and recovered my truth, which is I'm divine and infinite and powerful, and none of this shit has to have any effect on me unless I decide it can, and give it my power. I've had to find and dig for that gold and that alchemy, and put myself again and again while I'm being sued and this and that. I'm blamed by my family and all this stuff. So you might have something way worse. Okay. I've met people who were tortured and in prison, and I don't even want to go there. Okay. You can take anything you've experienced, anything, and transmute it, because it is there to give you a gift. You didn't manifest it because you need to be punished. You manifested it because of karma. Karma doesn't mean you're stuck on a wheel and you deserve to be punished and you can't get out of it for 50 lifetimes. So say screw it to that shit. Karma is cause and effect. And in every single life of your reality, which is a lot of lives, anything you have said, anything you have caused through your word, your thought, your feeling, and your action, your beliefs, has to have an effect. Cause, effect, cause, effect. Most of people are living in effect. I'm at effect of that person's whims and that person's moods and the economy and my past and my education. If you believe you're at effect of those things and you aren't powerful enough to be the cause, here's one of your issues. So you need to make a new declaration. I no longer believe that, and I'm going to substitute and replace it with a belief that allows me to say, listen, I'm not here to suffer. The universe didn't send me here to a prison. It sent me here to resolve these things, to relive out the effect of the karma, of the causes I've had, whether it was another life, because the cause has to have an effect. What you say will come back to you. If you curse someone, it'll come back to you. You'll be cursed. If you bless someone, you'll be blessed. If you're kind with your money and your words and your opinions and you respect people, you'll get that back. It just the way it is. Period. That's just the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. Okay? So just give up and go with it. So you could have had 5 lifetimes where you declared, I will never make money again because I was killed, I was pursued, people, I couldn't trust anybody really loved me. I will never love again. I was betrayed. Somebody cheated on me. Somebody did this and this and this. Okay. Yes, you've had those lives. You've also been the one that betrayed other people. You've been all of those things. You understand every side of it. Now we're in the time of unity. Come back into unity with your true self. Come back into unity with the power you have within you. Come back and decide, I'm not a victim. Any trauma and betrayal I have experienced is not there to take me down. It was there for me to complete. Now I'm at choice. Now I decide. Now I take back the choice. I speak with the wand of my tongue. On the tip of my tongue is the truth. And I will speak the truth into being. And that truth is that I choose what this means. I choose to see the gems, the gifts, the wisdom, the freedom, the liberation inside of every single thing that's happening. Losing your job, losing your relationship is the best thing that ever happened to you. And you will say that one day. I hope you don't stay stuck in it's the worst thing and then live your whole life out. But that is your choice because the universe isn't going to judge you. People will judge you. You judge you. As long as you judge other people, they'll keep judging you. So we have all this stuff and it can feel like, well, I'm not the one at cause because this just happened to me. I had a car accident. It wasn't my fault. I was innocent. There's no such thing. An accident doesn't happen. It's a progression of certain beliefs and energies that slowly create an interaction, an intersection, boom. Okay? It wasn't an accident that I fractured my foot and my toe last year. It wasn't an accident when I was in my big car accident. It wasn't an accident that this bug bit me and then I almost died and went through 3 weeks during COVID of in the emergency room and then being at home, dying and coming back again. It wasn't an accident that Chris had his mega Kundalini awakening. And these are all part of the reflection coming back to us. It wasn't an accident. My daughter died. There's a really fucked up, hard one to live with. I caused that. Great. Now, you're not causing anyone else to have grief because they get to choose and they will not receive your curse. They will not receive your decision of what's true if they are in control of their own inner voice and decisions. So the people in your life that you perceive as victims or that you have hurt, if you walk around feeling guilty and needing to forgive yourself or wanting someone else to forgive someone else, you are the one deciding that the forgiveness needs to happen. But if you just accept what is, it automatically happens. That doesn't mean you're choosing more of it. You're not giving your power up. Where you take your power back scientifically, energetically, measured in David Hawkins' Power versus Force book and in my scale, which you can get in the shop for free, is at the state of acceptance. Your emotional body forgives, your mind goes into harmony with new ideas. You transcend effortlessly, rising up out of all these other realities that seem like they're limiting, and you are surrounded with compassion. You see from compassion. You have compassion for yourself and other people. That's a combination of kindness and love and practical love, I really call compassion. So anything that's happened to you, regardless of how much you want to blame someone else, stop it right now. If you want to be free from your trauma, from feeling weak, from feeling held back, from feeling overwhelmed, from feeling confused, stop blaming anyone else. You can't make a difference. Your metamorphosis is happening. It's happening on the planet. Things are falling apart. People don't want to pay attention to it. They want to fight it. They want to hold on to it. They want to judge. They want to play that game. That's fine. Let them. You can choose something else. and you will be free, and you will be happy, and you will be healed, and you will gain the wisdom, the strength with the scars. You do not go to the leader of a tribe because he's 10 years old and has never been through a trauma. You go to the old wise man and the old wise woman because they have been through war. They have been through loss. They have been through betrayal. They have been through trauma. They have scars on their body. They have scars in their emotional field. They are full of that. And they listened and they learned and they accepted it and they embodied it. And then the wisdom was born. So Rumi says, you can't know all truths at once. You have to learn the truth that you're in the middle of. And once you learn that truth, when you gain the wisdom from your trauma, that you're strong, you're still here, that you're eternal. You've had a lot of trauma in other lives, and yet here you are. This is a game. The game isn't fun sometimes, but it isn't wrong. It's empowering. It's giving you a guidance. You're going to go to somewhere where you have more compassion for somebody. You'll find a different job, or you'll find a new way to go have fun. You'll find a new way to create a world of love, despite what other people say. That's what we need in the world right now. Not people who say, oh, this poor thing and that poor thing, and that person has to change, and this has to happen in order for everybody to heal. Heal yourself, and you will start to project that. Embody yourself, empower yourself, accept your riches, accept the support, accept that you have within you every single thing you need, and your traumas are there to empower you. Grandmother Ishmukane is the heart of the earth to the ancient Maya. She's my life guide. And she sits at the heart of the earth and she transmutes your crap. She takes your fear, your pain, your trauma. She takes your ego masks that you're hiding behind or that you feel stuck within. She remolds them. She composts your pain, and she gives you back gems, pearls of wisdom, support, ideas, strength. But what I see for most people is that she's sitting there surrounded with bowls and bowls and bowls and bowls and bowls of all these beautiful gifts that are the transmutation, that are what's left when you pan for gold. What's left, you let go of all the story and all the pain. And then what's left are the nuggets of gold. And those are the truth, and those are the wisdom, and those are the guideposts, and those are the things you go to when you feel weak or feel fear, and you're not going towards creating the life of your dreams, and you're not feeling good right now, because that means guaranteed that you will feel good. If you're smiling inside, if you're feeling good regardless of, I don't know how to pay my rent, but I still feel happy today. I know it'll happen. I'm not going to be like homeless soon. Or if you've been homeless and you go, I don't want to ever be homeless. Okay, then reframe that, because if you stay homeless and you stay in fear of being homeless, you're going to keep attracting that pattern. Okay, so let me say hi, and we're going to dive in a little bit deeper. Hola, hola, hola. Christy, the Bodhi tree. Wasn't that such a special place? Wow. What I loved the best was I loved walking around, because it was this big old house and had, bookshelves that went to the ceiling. You had to get on ladders, and it had all these topics, and I was brand new. I had no idea of any of these things, and I'd walk around and go, what's that? What's this? Like, oh my, there was so much. But then they had a little house in the back for used books. And because at the time my business had collapsed at the end of the 80s, I'd lived off my credit cards. I put all my money back in my business. So I was sitting there trying to figure out what to do, who I was, where to go. I couldn't trust people, and I had no money. I just had a whole lot of debt. I would go to the used bookstore, and I would find these gems, these tattered old book gems. It was just amazing. Love you. Oh my gosh. Hey, shapeshifter, I love your name. Look at you, said I love Nan and Akasha. Are you thinking non-bred? A lot of people think it's non-bred. It's Nan. It's short for Nancy. Shapeshifter. Well, I love shapeshifters. So that's what we're talking about, right? We are shapeshifters. And whether you go become a shaman and you know how to turn into an eagle and fly away, and there's people who know how to do that. That's very, very real. They're not going to be the ones dancing around the tourist center, though, for you when you go places, okay? They're very private. But we're shapeshifters. So we're in a time right now where we have the gift and we have the possibility of taking all our trauma, all our betrayal, all this stuff, and transmuting it, peeling away the false identities that we think it is, and finding the gem inside of it, finding that pearl of wisdom, and then saying, yes, I have that strength because I've been through that. I know how to do this. I used to hate dentists. I still don't really like them, but I was so afraid, so absolutely terrified. It triggered all kinds of torture memories for me. And then I learned how to meditate, and I learned how to do all these different energies tools, and I learned hypnosis and energy work and so on and so forth. And I was going to this dentist who was this wonderful old man, had crystals in his office. He would go to alternative medicine things. We would discuss homeopathy and all these different natural remedies and vibrational remedies. And he would see me, I'd come and I'd grip, I'd be like, oh God, I don't want the, and he said, you know what to do. You do your thing. I'll do my thing. Let's co-create a really beautiful experience. I was like, oh, okay. So I'd start imagining I was on a beach and I would breathe. Okay. And I'd come back to the beach and I got so good at it. I would fall asleep, like with drool while they were drilling, whether it was a cavity or a crown or even a root canal. That's how you can master any situation. What do you think people did who were in concentration camps? There were a few people who uplifted others, who were able to find the sunshine in a really horrible situation. They didn't just walk around hiding, tolerating it. They decided they were not going to give in, regardless of the powerlessness that they had and the horror that was unfolding around them. They decided to help others in that situation, to be the sunshine for other people, to uplift them in the midst of a day when how could you possibly say, what a great day. Everything works out for me. I'm fine. I'm always going to be fine. In the end, there will be a great thing from this. Everything happens for me. How do you say that? So for me, I have a lot of past history of being prisoner of war, being a prisoner, being outcast, being burned at the stake. But the more powerful ones were the ones where I was tortured, not just killed. I mean, if someone just shot you, that's kind of nice, you know. These operated within me and kept me afraid from speaking up. They kept me afraid from putting myself out there. But then I had a program in my soul seed. Go out, build big businesses, make lots of money, do wonderful things, write books, do this. And so, right? You have all of this within you. But the best thing right now is we can talk to each other. We can support each other. We can have a community like Christy was just in San Francisco with me. We had an amazing time. In a few weeks, we're going to be in like a month. We're going to be in, a month from yesterday, we're all going to be arriving. And a month from today, we're going to be all together in Canada in this gorgeous house at this lake, working with the fire and the Native American woman who's going to cook for us and the lady who does crystal water programming. And we're going to be doing all this amazing stuff together. And we're going to be in person. And we get to come on here and you get to come on my classes and we get to talk to each other and you get to talk to me on the chat and our class gets to communicate. I'm having this problem. I'm having that problem. Here's what I do. Let me help you. Let me help you. Let's all together raise ourselves out of these common issues. Without judgment, we free ourselves and we free others. You are the creator of your reality. And as you change yourself, you are not being selfish. You are uplifting others through the permission you give yourself to be happy regardless, to be unlimited and not held back or imprisoned by anything that has happened to you or what you perceive are the limitations of the economy, of your body, of your finances, or anything else. There is nothing outside of you that could possibly be stronger than your true inner power, your faith, and the divine that you are. It's just a fact. Okay. Lotus bloomers. I love it. Oh my gosh. Hi, Linda. You're so right. I love purple. I love purple too. So this is my beach wear. This is my house wear. And normally I change for you guys. I put something a little more official on. But the purple was just vibing. So, and I bought this in Arkansas with Diana when we were in Arkansas retreat, and she is going to be at our retreat in Canada, and she is just an incredible woman. So, if you are interested in that, I recommend that you go look at the Your Phoenix Rises, and what was the other one? The other show that we did a week or so ago, and then 2 weeks ago, about the retreat. But at the end, I did these activations, and they were incredibly powerful. So we've edited them out. We've gifted them to the people in the class, and I'm giving them to people who are contacting me saying, I'm really interested in this retreat, but I'm concerned about the money or other aspects of the logistics. And they are, even if you're not coming to the retreat, they are so powerful and beautiful. So take advantage of all the things that I give you, because it's a gift that frees your mind, your soul, your body, your aura, and everything else. Okay, let's take a peek. Oh my gosh, time just goes like that when we're doing this. Okay, donde está? Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. I love this. So we're going to do this. I'm going to share the video with you again. This is the house that we're going to be at in Canada. Oh, let's do
the Japanese mosquito.
Oh my goodness. No. Okay, let's see if we can get back to it. There we go. I love that. I love music. I love feeling it gets me so inspired to look at that. So I've been sharing every time I go, oh, that's still up here on my tabs as a little piece of the universe. Each tab is a different reality. And if you're looking at one tab and thinking, this is the truth, there's infinite numbers of tabs you can open with your mind. Here we go. La, 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 la. Ooh, all right, here we go. So we've talked a lot already about our topic. So we're just going to poke a few things. I'm going to look at what we told you we were going to do. So I know, and we're going to dive into an activation. As you know, I love experience. I believe that unequivocally, the energetic spiritual experience that I create the space for, that I guide you through, that I channel in the moment, depending on who's there. And Christy knows, because it was fun. We were in San Francisco and we had a theme and we were doing lots of different things. But each day there was a lady there and she'd say, well, what are we doing tomorrow? And I would look at her and I say, I don't know. What does that mean? Well, we had some plans, we're going to go here. We're going to do that. We're going to work on this. We're going to whatever. We had our living room set up with all our crystals, and I'll be doing that in Canada too. And we'll have the sacred space set up. But I don't know, because we're going to show up at that moment. And each of us is going to transform from what we just did. And you're going to go into dream and you're going to be transforming in your dreams. So like we're in the house together, like in San Francisco or in Canada, we're creating this cocoon and we're creating this environment and we're going into our dreams and we're having this accelerated, empowered and supported experience. And then we show up in the morning and then I allow the energies and spirit to come through me to see what is optimal. Or I let, one of the people there, what do you need? What do you want to share? What do you want to ask? It's 12:12. Whoa. And then it opens a window and then it pours through me. So this is about, we've been talking about how to trust again, right? After betrayal, loss, and fear. And there's pretty much no one who gets to an age over maybe 20 or 30, right, that hasn't had some experience like this. We all have childhood experiences, which I learned about when I started doing hypnosis sessions. And I noticed that everybody had some kind of an initiating event as a child where they went from feeling safe and loved, if you did have that, to feeling separated from that love. And it could be something as simple as, when you're really tiny, everybody's like, oh, you're so cute and you're so wonderful. And oh, you're talking to fairies and being imaginative. And then suddenly you just cross that border. And all of a sudden I saw my mother do this to my children. And I really understood more about what happened to me. Is that there's this idea in people's minds like, okay, now you got to grow up. It's not cute you talking to fairies anymore. Be realistic, grow up, stop doing that, stop dreaming. Okay. But more powerful than that is the first time that someone loving, let's just say your mother, yelled at you, got mad at you, told you you were bad, told you had done something wrong. And you hadn't had that experience. Now, if you've been having that environment all along, you're a very strong person. But if you were just, oh, everything's fine. Okay, sweetie, here you go play with your toys. Come in. Here's your snack. Everything's great. And you break a glass. It's not like you did anything terrible. You're not going to jail. The world's not going to end. But you knock over your glass of water and it smashes. And mom's stressed and tired. It goes, oh my God. Right? And you just like shock goes through your system. Just shock. And that's a very common situation. Everyone has one of these events where someone they trusted, where they felt safe, where they felt loved, where they felt cared for, where they felt good enough, and they were able to operate inside of that energy was cut. And then I am going to be the best little girl the rest of my life because I never, ever want to feel that again. I don't want to upset my mom. I don't want to upset anybody. I don't want anyone to yell at me. I don't want anybody to get mad at me. I don't want to be punished. I don't want to be hit. I don't want to go to my room. I don't want that. And then you make decisions. I'm a bad person. I'm not safe. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't understand. I didn't try to do it. How do I not do it? Then you become hyper vigilant and you're worried about everything you do and you're stressed out like, oh, did I do it right? And is that person and what do they want? And you stop being you and you start trying to be what everyone else wants. Okay. Very normal, very common psychotherapists and analysts and all these people, if you studied the mind and that, it's a very common understood thing. Then it's very difficult to trust yourself because you did something. And my most common feeling from childhood is I never understood what I did wrong. I'm just happily playing away and all of a sudden like, what are you doing? And nobody hit me, thankfully. There wasn't a lot of yelling. My dad never yelled ever. But it was like this, oh, why can't you be like your sister? Or stop doing that. Or you're too trappy. You're too trusting. You're too butterfly ways. My mom would say, you have all your butterfly ways. So by the way, I'm very close to my mother now. And that was a very powerful thing being disowned. So that's what I'm talking about. I lived this. I took 8 years before I was willing to go back into a relationship. I didn't know if there was an opening for a relationship, but I knew that I needed to heal. And I would have spent my whole life chasing her approval and trying to please her, trying to figure out what she wanted. And this had to happen. My spirit interrupted that because I could have spent the next 25 lifetimes trying to become self-realized and trust myself. So that was very painful. And even my mother has even mentioned to me that was such a horrible period when you were separated from me, and it was her choice. So it was kind of like, okay, that's interesting. But you don't wait for other people to fix it. You go inside and decide what you want. And I knew that I did not want to go to bed. I didn't want to die in this life, to this body, to this life identity with regrets. And regardless of anything and everything that's happened in my life, I wanted to have a harmonious and loving relationship with my parents. They're 92. I am going to go see them in a few weeks for my daughter's wedding. I am so happy. My dad has lost his memory. He functions, but he's not there for very long in the same conversation. That's very interesting. I'm not going to label it. And I want to be with him. I want to hold his hand. I want to look in his face. I want to hear his voice. I want to get pictures with him. I want to be with them. I want to be able, when we all move to a different transition, to say, I loved, I forgave, I appreciated, and I enjoyed. And I'm not willing to let anything anyone did. Now, other people, I may decide, no thanks. I don't ever want to have a relationship with that person again. And I can forgive myself and forgive them. I can let it go. I don't have to carry it around. But I can also make a decision that why would I ever be around someone like that? No thanks. It's just not interesting to me. I'm not chasing people's approval anymore. I'm not chasing success. I'm not chasing approval. I'm not chasing fame. I'm not chasing anything. I'm rising from within me. It's very different. Trusting again means you have to trust yourself. In order to trust yourself, you have to make sure that you're not seeking something from the other person or the thing. Oh, well, I'll trust again when I have the money. I'll trust going out of my comfort zone, saying yes to go on a trip or buy a house or do something. Once I have the proof that it's okay, someone else says it's okay, or once I see the money and I know where the money's going to come from, and then I feel comfortable with money and everything is perfectly lined up in whatever way you want, then I'll do it. That's not trust. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust the universe. You have to trust that everything happened for a reason. And the best power you have is to go in and look at it, accept it, confront it, but not with anger. Say, okay, come on out. All right, let me look at you. I'm accepting. Yep. I'm not happy about how I did that. I'm not happy about the choices I made. I'm not happy that I ended up ruining my finances, ruining my relationships. But you know what? I'm here now because this is a thing and I want to accept it and I want my power back. I'm going to look at it. So it's not about the loss. It's not about what happened. It's not about who, and it's not about trying to figure out who did that to you. If you went on an trip or something and you had a lot of conflict with someone and you're like, oh, I don't want to ever have that again. And you went home and you just ignored it. You just said, I'm not dealing with it. And you never looked at it. You never accepted it. You never acknowledged it. You didn't go into that shadow and you didn't take responsibility for it. It's going to haunt you and it's going to create trauma and it's going to literally create that room where you don't go outside your comfort zone because that might happen. So anything that is within us, we don't necessarily have to know it all, but we have to give permission for it to no longer mean what you thought it meant. When you went out in another life and you helped all the people in town and you made your herbal remedies and you grew flowers and you picked things and you talked to them and you understood the medicinal properties of things and you created a basket full of lavender and herbs and teas and tinctures and you went into town and people bought them and people healed and people loved you. And then suddenly everything changed and people started to be afraid of you and call you a witch and you were outcast and you were killed and you were hunted and you were blamed and you were separated from the love you like to do, the herbs that you spoke to. You could no longer use their power. You could no longer bless the people. That separation is a trauma and a betrayal. And then what often happened in those lives was people would keep coming to you to the back door. They would go to the magic people, the priestesses, the magicians, the enchantresses, the herbalists, the medicine women, but they didn't want anyone to know because you knew what you were doing. You could help them. You could help them attract the love of their life, or you could help them heal their kidney, or you could help them, with the pain, or you could help them, find happiness. So this is the part of you that wants to rise again, that could feel safe instead of fear that your powers are going to attract trauma, betrayal, blame, and other very unpleasant, painful, physically painful consequences. There is nothing that can do that unless you keep giving your power to it, or you keep ignoring something that happened to you. It's time to sit down and say, okay, I'll tell you something I did. And when I think about it now, I think, damn, pretty good, girl, pretty good. You've got some balls, you got some strength, you got it going on. Because it took me 8 years to get pregnant. I gave birth to my beautiful daughter, Jordan, and when she died, I didn't want to live. I wanted more babies. I tried to get pregnant again and I couldn't. And I'm adopted. I always wanted to adopt. So I started going to adoption agencies. I went to international adoption agencies. Everybody has different rules and laws. We were figuring it out. We were moving through this process. And I didn't like going out. I didn't like going to Target. I didn't like going to the grocery store because in my mind, everybody had a baby. That's all I saw. I just saw people with babies, mothers with babies. Why do they get a baby and I don't get a baby? Why does everybody else have a kid and I don't have a kid? It's not fair. It's not fair. I felt like I was shut out of the big dream, the thing I wanted the most. I felt like I was being punished. I felt like my dreams were taken away from me, and the pain of loss and the pain of my dreams and the thing that meant the most to me at the time was taken from me had huge, wide repercussions on my identity with myself, my ability to trust myself or anyone else. And I was afraid. I was afraid to leave my house most of the time because I would see this and feel worse. So I decided one day, because I was on my spiritual path and I was a healer and I was working with animals and doing animal communication, healing work, homeopathy, flower essences, herbal remedies. I made natural foods for animals and all kinds of stuff. So I said, okay, well, you know what? I have to do something to get past this. So I volunteered at the newborn nursery at the University Hospital in Albuquerque. I live just outside of Albuquerque. And that takes some serious courage to go and put yourself in a situation where you are around babies and none of them are yours, where people were coming in almost daily to adopt babies that were there. They got a lot of drug babies. They got a lot of babies that were given up by different young people or whoever, as well as other people. And I wanted to be around the babies. I wanted to force my pain to come up so I could heal it and get past it, because I knew that as long as I felt this, I was not going to be able to step into the life I wanted. I want you to think about this. What is it that you're afraid to do again, to trust again? What is it that you're avoiding? What is it that you're making excuses about? What are you getting really busy and filling your calendar up with things that really aren't helping you or are keeping you busy instead of doing the thing that would be the best healer, right? What is it you could do, think, read, be, go to, imagine, whatever, okay, that would be so healing because it would specifically address a trauma you had or a betrayal that you had or a failure or a loss, that you could now confront it and you could heal at exponential speed. So even back then, because this was 29 years ago, things were denser, things were slower. There was still no internet in my world. And I'm not saying there was an internet. I don't actually know, but I had no internet. I had no cell phone. That was not a thing that existed at that time. And I made that decision from strength and courage that was deep inside of me that I even now I'm amazed that I had. Okay. I don't know exactly, I don't remember exactly what kind of elements and energies I was talking to. I was very into animals. I was not only taking care of them in the physical world, but I was working with them energetically for healing them. I was aware and communicating with animals about how much healing work they do for the planet and for the people they live with, especially cats. I was learning every day about the incredible infinite nature that everything is alive, everything is spirit, everything is divine, and everything has a unique medicine, a unique personality that can harm or heal you depending on who you are. I knew that it would take me a very long time to heal that if I didn't do something. And that's what I did. I recommend it highly. So take a look at what has happened in your life and where you are. This is where you're honest with yourself. This, you don't have to tell anybody else. You can tell me, you can come to my class or whatever if you want, but do private session with me or whatever. But the bigger thing is that are you right now willing to change your familiar, quote unquote, safe life? Are you willing to take a look at your beliefs and how they've created what's going on for you? Are you willing to see where you feel weak or separate or uncertain or lack of trust or unsupported or that you don't have or you can't? These are places that are operating from lies. This is not truth because you're infinite and you came with everything you need inside of you. You don't have to go find it somewhere else. You have to decide it. You have to choose it. You have to declare it. You have to speak it. You have to feel it. You have to imagine it. You have to choose it. So I would go and I had I don't know what, 2, 3, 4 hour shift or something. And I would assist with the newborn babies, newborn nursery. And I would have to leave regularly to go to the bathroom, to cry my eyes out. I mean, sob from the depths of my soul. So I was around all these babies and I could touch them and I could take care of them and I could hold them and I could kiss them and I loved the drug babies because they were highly sensitive. I became the drug baby expert because I could just take a baby into the quiet room, the dark room, off of the newborn nursery and just hold that baby or be with that baby, do the energy work, speak to their soul, soothe them, be a loving presence for them. The things I wanted because I wanted a baby for those things. So I would sometimes have to leave a lot in the beginning because it was so triggering, so painful, so challenging. But I went every Friday, every Friday, every Friday. I don't know how long. 4 months later, I met an angel. She told me, a lady, she told me about open adoption. I found the open adoption agency in Albuquerque. We began our process with them. They shut down for Christmas. We made all of our stuff. We wrote our letters and made our blah, 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 everything you do. We did all our tests and got fingerprinted by the FBI and all this stuff you have to do to adopt a baby. And when they opened on January 2nd, I was at their front door with all my stuff. Here, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready to be shown. Do you have a baby for me? And my babies were born on January 6th. About a week or two later, they contacted me to come to my house. Okay, you're approved. You've been through everything. We're ready to put you into the system and start showing you to the potential parents. we have to come to your house and we have to check your house out. So the lady showed up at her house and she's sitting on the couch and she's dropping paperwork everywhere. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I've just jangled. These twins just fell out of the sky on us and I don't know what to do. And I just went, what? And a lightning bolt went through me. I now know they were my babies. At the time, I was like, what? Twins? What? Oh my gosh, are you going to show us? Are we going to get a chance to? And she said, oh, no, they already picked somebody. So in an open adoption agency, the birth parents pick you based on all these things. I said, oh, okay. About 2 days later, I got a phone call. That didn't work out. Would you like to be shown? Would you still think you want twins? And would you like us to put you in the new batch of people to show? Yes, please. Those are my babies. They were 8 weeks premature. They were in intensive care when I met them. They were in the hospital I volunteered at. Emily was intensive care. Sierra had just come out of intensive care the day, like 2 days before. She was in regular newborn nursery. No, I think she was actually there for a week or more. So she healed faster and she was in the regular nursery where I would work. I found out that we were being shown and then they picked us, but there was a process. We had to meet with them. We had to talk. We had to decide if we still liked each other. You know, you had a counselor and all these things. So we were going through that process. I didn't know if this was going to be true. So I had to call in sick for 2 weeks because I said, if I come in and I see this baby, my Sierra bug, if I see her and I don't get her, I don't think I can survive it. So I'm sorry, but I can't come and do my job, my volunteer job with you this week. Well, all the nurses that worked there that knew me were so excited because regularly we would get people come in to adopt and they would look at me like, sorry, it's not you, And so I know that there were many elements to my healing and to my adopting my children. They were part of my destiny, but I did this and I was ready. Divine timing happened for me because I did the hard part, which was I'm not going to sit here and live in agony and pain and not trust. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to live this way. And I want to heal and I want a family. So I did that. And I did that at the exact hospital that they were born at. Kind of interesting, right? The day that the adoption was final, we got to go in and they said, the babies aren't ready to go home, but you can come meet them. We went in, we met Sierra, we changed her, we fed her, we were overglowing with joy. My husband at the time, my ex, was actually in nursing school. He had been an aerospace engineer, so he was in nursing school. And the nurses went over to the doctor who said, we just want to watch her for a few more days at least. I don't think you should take her home. And they said, they need to take her home. She volunteers here. He's in the nursing school. They can handle it. So we got to take her home. We got to meet Emily. We couldn't touch her. She was a little papoose inside of a little tent thing with tubes in her and everything like that. She's getting married next month. So all these things come together and opportunities are in your path all the time for you to find your soulmate, to find your healing, to find your baby, to find your job, to find your money, to find your creative strength, to find your clarity, whatever it is. But if we stay inside of our trauma and we believe that it has wounded us, that it has permanently identified us with it, if we wear it like a badge, if we wear it and decide that I am this label, you are not. You experienced it, and it's time for you to let that go. You can also, and you will, open up infinite avenues of synchronicities and beautiful bliss because the universe has already created those for you. Whatever it is you want in your life, your house, your soulmate, your best friend, your business opportunity, your babies, your health, whatever, it's already there. It already exists exactly the way you most desire and also better than you could imagine. Here's one thing I love. We did an open adoption. We know the mother. We know the father too, but he's kind of wandered off and not communicating anymore. I know this birth mother. I got to thank her. I got to say, you are giving me your babies. I love you. I've got to talk to her and give her gifts every Mother's Day. And they stayed together long enough to have 2 babies. My children have 2 blood brothers. They're very close to them. They talk to them on text. They've gone through periods where they were on Zoom with them and creating things with them and playing games with them over all this time. And except for when they were very tiny, they have never met in person. And the birth mother and one of her sons, one of their brothers, are coming to the wedding. I am over the moon to get to see her, to get to meet him, and for this to happen. This is what I believe beauty and more love, not mine and I'm afraid of you, but we all get to love more. My children get more people who love them. And we get to share the beauty of our lives together. And I get to thank her over and over and over. I'm going to be showering with her gifts. We're going to take them already out. We already have an appointment to take them out for brunch. I'm going to be hugging her. I'm going to be holding her hand. I'm going to be sitting there looking in her eyes, and I'm probably going to be crying a lot because here's somebody who took a choice that she thought was best for the children, not for her, and gifted me with my biggest dream. She's a soulmate. She's a soul sister, and I will love her forever. And I'm not afraid of her. My mother was. Okay, so I'll tell you about a few things before we finish up here. Thursday, I'm going to do another show. And this is called Break Free from Anxiety, Burnout, and Old Patterns. So similar to this one, we're going to talk about the things that create that, how you feel stuck in them, and help you break free from any of these things if they are affecting you in some way. That's the retreat in Canada. There's just no words at the moment to why I really believe that you could be incredibly healed and go to the next level of your life by coming and joining us. Tomorrow, I'm going to be revealing the Scotland retreat. Super, super magical. In January, I am doing a retreat with Portal to Ascension with my Mayan elder. And it's going to be unlike anything I've done before because Neil and Chris are going to be an active part of it. So we'll be sharing more about that. And of course, the Create Your Own Reality class is still there if you'd like to join. And I am also have up on the if you want an Oracle deck, there's a few left. They're on the website, they're on the shop. And I've also been asked to do Oracle readings. I did these live, and I will be doing them live also in Canada. So that is up on the shop, and you could do a 25 or a 55-minute one, and they're both on sale. Okay, so today we talked about that in today's world, people feel overwhelmed, disappointed, betrayed, uncertain, afraid to open their hearts again, to trust becomes one of the deepest spiritual initiations. You can tell by what I've shared, it is an initiation. It's a powerful initiation. An initiation is when you are willing to learn and to accept and to walk through your perception of the fear and darkness and not give into it because it's not real. So this live teaching and healing has been everything we're talked about, right? Trusting again, getting over disappointment, confusion, loss, and how to rebuild trust. So we've done all that. And I think we've kind of nailed it. Can you trust again? Yes, it's a process of being willing to go inside and look at what you think it means, who you're blaming, who you're giving your power to write about it, to think about it, to ponder it, to give yourself the nourishment that you need, and don't blame anybody else. Can I trust that life will go the way I want when I've had failures and losses? Yeah. Can I trust Source? I definitely was mad at Source or God. Okay. So fear and the things we've talked about closes us down, creates resistance, creates closing everything, right? The idea that you can't trust people because you were betrayed. Perhaps you found out something that happened in the past and you didn't know it, and it's shocking and upsetting, and you feel confused by it. It's important to confront it because it's in the past, even though you didn't know it, and now you're like, oh my gosh, that person was cheating on me and I didn't know they were cheating on me, and I thought that at least we had a loving relationship, but they weren't, or whatever. Process that, but don't make it mean anything. Oh, well, that means I can't trust anybody. This is where your power is, okay? It distorts your intuition and flavors the guidance that you have. And this is another really big problem with what we're talking about is how do you open your intuitive senses and live aligned to spirit and find all the beauty, harmony, bliss, wealth, riches, joy that is already here for you if you are tainting and restricting your inner voice, your intuition. So stop abandoning yourself, stop suppressing yourself, stop turning your back on these things. Don't do that, because you don't blindly trust. You gain the power and strength and wisdom. You become the wise one, right? You awaken discernment. We talked about that. You restore your inner safety. You remember that your soul still knows the way, always knows the way. Okay. So now, trusting doesn't mean you just go out and you let anybody do whatever they want and you love everybody no matter what. You love everybody the same, but be discerning. Choose who you're around, who you talk to, and who you tell your dreams to. It doesn't mean ignoring red flags. It doesn't mean giving your power away and letting people act whatever they want. But it doesn't mean giving into, oh, I'm going to be heartbroken again. Oh, I'm going to be disappointed again. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be disappointed. This is about coming back home to your heart, to your truth, to your own inner guidance, to the voice within you that already knows the path of joy and happiness. So explore the healing and look at where you were hurt. Look at what you didn't confront. Look at what you haven't been willing to look at. Look at what is in the way of things that you wish you had or you wish you could do, so that you can start to rebuild the trust to take advantage of the opportunities that are here for you right now. Don't live in regret. Okay. Sacred discernment. Sacred discernment. Very important. Okay. Let's see if anyone has any questions or comments. No? Okay. Oh, let's see who we got here. No, we're going to drink out of the Jaguar. Thank you. Okay. Let's see what wants to come through to complete our journey. It's been a very, very healing conversation. When I talk, the energies, the words are going out. They're opening little doors inside of you. They're triggering things. They're opening your mind. They're reminding you of things. They're unlocking. So this has been going on the whole time. So what I want you to do right now is close your eyes and just notice yourself. Go inside. Draw your attention from outside of you, from me, into you. Take a deep breath in. Fill yourself with that breath of life. And as you let it go, let it move out through your aura, your emotional body, your mental body, out through your light body, and come gently down into your center. Maybe your throat, your heart, your danchen, your belly, your sacral. Just be inside of you somewhere, resting gently. Now I'm going to be quiet for a moment. And I want you to just be there observing, not trying to figure out, not asking any questions. Be quiet. Listen. Observe. How do you feel? Do you have some energy, some heat, some tingling, some movement anywhere? Are you feeling pounding, pulsing, shifting? Observe and notice gently, from stillness, from peace. As you're observing, give yourself permission. Literally say, I give myself permission. Okay? As you're giving yourself permission to see, to sense, to reveal, to perceive any place within my mind, body, soul, aura, and any level of my light body where I have closed the door, locked away my voice or my power, turned my back on myself because of trauma, betrayal, loss, or failure. You are calling back to you, conjuring to you the parts of you that you have ignored or feared, that you have decided are weak, vulnerable, damaged, wounded. I now give permission to all parts of me that are ready and willing to rise up now and hold my wisdom, my power, my creativity, where I have buried through choices and traumas to survive, to feel safe, to move on. I ask now for the divine mother, father, God, goddess, source, from my infinite self, my body elemental, my higher self, and that part of my blueprint that knows who I am here to be and to become, the sacred dragon, the divine, powerful wisdom, the one who has been through it all and rises like the phoenix from the ashes. I give permission to my inner child, to my wounded self, to the lover, the mother, the daughter, to the partner, to the employer or employee, to any part of me that I perceive was wounded, betrayed, destroyed, that I have denied, that I have locked away, that I have ignored, or I have decided is weak, disabled, and wounded. I call to the wisdom keepers in my lineages and to the ancestors in my DNA who have also lived, reinforced, and agreed to this trauma, who have recreated again and again the betrayal, the loss, and the fear. This is the moment we are called to the sacred fire. It is time for the golden goddess of freedom and fresh, eternal optimism to guide us back to our origins, to bring us in to the golden age, to reunite us with our life force, the fountain of youth within us, to reawaken our golden touch. I am ready to burn away the illusion, to rebirth my ancient, future, intuitive, divine self, to connect with that part of me that came here to create a world of beauty, wonder, delight, riches, joy, and happiness. I now call to the fire horse to carry me with your strength and your freedom, that no longer I am broken. No longer do I stand in a stall when I can run free. I ignite the sacred fire within me to burn away all of the illusions of this pain and trauma. I no longer give it my power. I no longer agree that anything can weaken me, that anything outside of me and anything in the past or perceived future can hold me back from the dreams of my heart, from the joy of my abilities. And I'm ready to call and be in this moment of the cocoon, the metamorphosis. This is the moment of the sacred feminine solar initiation. The fire within me is ready to ignite my cosmic consciousness, my spiritual sun self, and be reborn like the phoenix. I am willing to burn down every belief I have about what it meant, what I can do and can't do, what has been taken from me or done to me. No, I'm the power, and I know everything is the effect of my cause in this life or another. I know that within me there is not now or never will there be a time when anything can actually and truly hurt me, harm me, disempower me, or wound me. Everything happens for me. Everything happens for my greatest good. I'm ready to live that truth again, to find the wisdom, the strength, the gold, the gems, and the pearls of wisdom inside of all of my perceived trauma, failure, loss, and betrayal. I refuse ever again to hide who I am, to hold back from the gifts and opportunities that the universe is unfolding and inviting me to in every moment, because now is the time of my life. Now is the moment I'm alive. Now is the moment of epic opportunities, and I'm ready to be reborn from the fire and the flames as the golden goddess of freedom, as fresh, new, eternal optimism. I reclaim my golden touch. I allow the life force within my body and mind to rise from my origins, my divine origins, and let the fountain of youth birth from me, from right inside of the trauma, because it does not mean what I thought it mean, and it does not have permission to own my power anymore. Those fruits that are here for me, that I have declared are forbidden because of what has happened to me, now they reveal the sacred knowledge. Now they open the new beginnings. Now my Kundalini is freshly born, a baby snake from a golden egg. Now I feel the softness of my fresh new skin, the clear vision, the optimistic heart. We call on the golden goddess of freedom and fresh eternal optimism, on the archetype of Eve, freed from condemnation and blame, no longer agreeing to anything that anyone has declared. I am the one who declares who I am. I am the one who holds the power, the origins, the life force, the sacred knowledge. I am the one who chooses a new beginning, and it begins right now. right here inside of me, where I ignite the eternal flame, the sacred flame. It is here. It is now. It is here. It is now. It is mine. It is here. It is now. And it all burns down. The illusion is gone. I no longer allow anything to disempower me, to limit me, or to hold me in that room that I didn't even know I was in. Guide me, divine sacred mystery, golden goddess of freedom, embodiment of the essence of renewal and optimism and boundless creativity. Teach me that I don't need to be young in years or perfect, that I am not damaged or tainted. I can experience the life force, the flow. I can embrace eternal fountain of youth within me, within my mind, within my heart. I can rise up from anything. And true prosperity, the nourishment of the divine that begins with trust. I now agree to trust in myself, to trust in the universe, and to trust in the divine flow of creation. The pure, innocent, powerful abundance of the universe. I trust in the divine riches within me, the universal wisdom, the never-ending, infinite flow. You see and sense her here. She whispers as she softly touches your cheek. Reconnect to your divine origins. There are no wounds there. You are perfect. You always have been, because you're divine. The golden touch was always yours. It still is. Take my faith. Take this energy of trust and joy and gratitude and allow it, receive it, drink it, accept it, to manifest freely, without fear, without doubt, without conditions, without buts, without old stories. I now align with your wisdom, beautiful freedom goddess. Your life is my life. As I am here to begin the golden age, I see and know now I carry the codes for this golden age. And I'm ready to overflow with this trust and this faith, and overflow with this abundance, and overflow because I came here to do this, to be this. I have it within me. I take nothing from anyone. I, in fact, uplift the world. I heal the world. I give everyone, everywhere who's open to receive this divine abundance. We all deserve it. We all deserve the healing. I now live without the weight of fear, without doubt, and without guilt. I will live without blame, and I allow and embrace a fresh new perspective to dawn over me, free from the scars of the past. I step out of this moment, this activation, into my life and my timeline, knowing this is the time for new beginnings. And where I walk with innocence, faith, trust. I reflect the purity of optimism and the manifestations of abundance, love, and wisdom pour to me and through me and all around me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am embracing and embodying eternal youth, optimism, and creativity. Nothing has damaged me. I am reborn like the phoenix from the flames and the fire. I walk in trust. I know the universe provides all I need. I declare it now, and nothing can deny this truth. I embrace my golden touch. I create a life of joy, ease, trust, abundance, prosperity, joy. And now I am walking, and with every breath and every step, I am manifesting the golden age in my life and in everyone's life around me. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. So be it. It is done. Thank you. It is done. I accept. It is done. Take a deep breath in. Fill yourself with this life force, with this gold, with this fountain of youth, with all of this wisdom and the new beginnings that you have just declared, and then blow them out. Feel them moving through every cell, your DNA, through your bones and your mind and your emotions and your aura and your house and your clothes and your car and your business and every single thing in your reality, out on a wave of golden freedom, full of eternal optimism, creativity, dreams that take shape in reality, giving this wave of golden light into the world, down to the core of the earth, out to the highest sky, through the moon and the stars, through this universe, through time, through space, and then back into your hands. And put them on your heart. And feel yourself gently coming back into your body, renewed, refreshed, full of trust and faith and creativity and excitement. I now live the life of fulfilled possibilities, the fully funded divine life. I trust the universe. I trust myself, and every step I am provided for. I'm never alone. I'm never given anything I can't handle, and the divine support is here. I have the community. I have the faith, and I choose in every moment to speak this truth despite what I see around me or the voices of my past pain. They no longer have power over me. I am one with the golden goddess of freedom and fresh eternal optimism. Relax. Feel good. Feel so fantastic. And decide right now, I'm going to feel good all the time. I'm not wasting another moment of my life feeling frustrated or angry, feeling depleted or damaged or wounded. I no longer give permission to anything else. I give all my power and my faith to this. This is my truth, and so it is. And I trust it will begin to appear around me in divine timing as I hold this faith. I reinforce this truth until it is natural for me in my mind, body, thoughts, feelings, and action. Now, may this circle be open, yet unbroken. The path of light is here connecting you to this truth, to this moment. Repeat this activation as often as you can before you go to sleep and when you wake up. When you feel the old feelings start to creep in, and remember, you are never alone. You are loved, you are supported, and you are beautiful. And I see you, and I give you permission right now to live like this, to trust this, to believe this, and to walk like this. And I promise you, you will be a blessing to the world beyond anything you could imagine, effortlessly and joyfully. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for making this incredible experience one that is going through you, your DNA, through your ancestors, and into your timeline. Thank you for sharing this. Subscribe, tell other people about my channel, tell them about this. Let's grow the community. It's time for us to make an impact on the world by being the light bearers, by being the ones who carry this, by being the ones who turn our back on the false illusion of lack, pain, and loss. Take your time to come out, write about what you felt, honor how you feel. Don't try to figure it out with your brain and wonder what's going to happen and then get disappointed something didn't happen already. Give yourself trust and love and latitude for this to unfold, because the things we've talked about today have been in your life, in your body, and in your mind for a very long time. And yes, we collapsed time. We went outside of time. We went between the spaces into the infinite. And that healing that we do, that I do with you, regardless of where we are, it transcends. It's why it's so powerful and so effective. You have to give it faith. You have to trust it and believe in it. And you have to give it a way to show up. Don't cut it off before it has a chance to take root. Nourish it so that it can feel safe to sprout and grow a foundation so that you can expand, that you can free yourself. So this is the Oracle deck that is for sale, and the Oracle deck readings that are for sale on my shop. It's called the Prosperity Magic Oracle Deck of Sacred Feminine Mysteries. The one that came to me yesterday and then this morning again, and it was so wonderful to read some of the book and see how deep it was in trust, because that was our theme. So I always let them speak to me. I don't go figure it out. Is number 25, the Golden Goddess of Freedom and Fresh Eternal Optimism. I read you a lot from the book around her. I channeled her, and you have her with you. She was inspired by Eve, by the archetype of Eve, because Eve came to me and told me that she agreed to play the role of this damaged woman, original sin maker, the one that got us outcast from bliss and happiness and all this other bullshit story that was told and twisted. She was written out of the truth of who she was, and she believed it. And she said, I manifested many, many lives in a long time living with this guilt and this pain. And then I realized one day that I have the power to reject that, regardless of how many people believe I'm this horrible person who created bad things in the world. And I refuse to believe that the sacred serpent, which is Kundalini and sacred knowledge and unconditional love, is evil. And I refuse to live that story, no matter how many people believe that story about me. And this is who she appeared as, this beautiful young maiden. And the snake appeared as this tiny baby snake too. And the golden apple, the apple from the sacred tree of knowledge, is in her hands. And she said, now is the time to take the fruits that you have been forbidden. Your own self forbade you, or you made decisions to not use your powers or your wisdom because you experienced trauma, betrayal, suffering in this life or another. It's time to take those forbidden fruits, pull them out, and eat them. Enjoy them, savor them, because what has been forbidden was someone else's story and a form of control and limiting you. And now is the time we are in unity and coming back to our personal power, to be our individual spiritual selves, to create new worlds, not based on any old paradigm of war, lack, misery, abuse, suffering. So this is who is with you. And she came to me in many, many forms. We have so many beautiful images of her in many forms, but this was the one that wished to join the mysteries and is here for you. It is my gift to you. And she wishes you to see her, to walk with her, to feel like her, You see how pure she is. You see how she's looking straight ahead with clear vision. She's standing tall. She's holding the golden apple that has the seeds of infinite potential, that has the juicy fruit for you to enjoy, to feed yourself, and that the life force within you is ready to bring the sacred knowledge that you brought here. This is your moment of new beginnings. Now you have a taste of how I work and who I am and what you will experience when you come to Canada or a class or the Maya land. We're also going to Palenque next year to do a priestess pilgrimage to reclaim our powers that we downloaded out of us into the land. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here, and for being willing to do this work. It isn't what most people do. They give in to the easy path, but it's the path of pain and suffering, that they don't have the power, and that everyone has taken away their goods, and that they're separate from truth and love and abundance, and that trauma and betrayal and wounds and diseases have stolen their life, and that they have to sit powerless and wait and wait and wait and take all kinds of drugs and wait for people to rescue them and whatever. None of that will get you anywhere. If you wish to create a reality for yourself and therefore the world and people who are ready to live inside of that beauty, then this is the path for you. And I'm honored and very happy to have you walk with me. Thank you again. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day. Please comment, please share, please reach out if there's something I can do for you. And I hope to see you soon. A blessing as you are, Nan. Thank you. Thank you very much. Namaste. Take care.